What's up, folks? Andrew Torba here, CEO of Gab.com, the true home of free speech since 2016, the only social network that has not bent the knee to the regime, to banks, to the mainstream media, to the ADL, and to foreign governments, which is what we're going to get into tonight. So tonight the news broke that the Turkish government asked Twitter to censor its opponents right before an election. And Elon Musk complied with this, okay? And his response was that this is par for the course for all internet companies, and we're just going to be clear what's happening, unlike other people. This is false. Gab's an internet company. We don't do this. And I have several examples to show you, actually. This one is pretty recent. It's from December of 2022, so about 5 months ago or so, but we get these all the time, and occasionally we'll publish them when it's pretty egregious. So this was from the UK government, and they cited Public Order Act 1986, which I don't care about. I don't know anything about. I don't care about. Gab is not a UK company. We don't have any offices in the UK. I'm not a UK citizen, so I really don't care what legislation that they're citing, because we don't have to comply with it. We're a U.S. company, and I'm a U.S. citizen. So I really don't care what the U.K. government, cites in terms of laws. And we turned down this request. So they wanted us to censor a specific user on the platform. We reviewed the account. We didn't see anything breaking our TOS. We didn't see anything breaking the law. We didn't see any threats of violence or anything like this. It was offensive, right? It was hate speech. And that's actually what that specific act that they were citing was about. And so our response to the UK was the same as it is to all foreign governments, which is you're not going to remove lawful content from an American internet company that has the protection of the First Amendment. And this is why Gab is so important, is because what we're doing is not just protecting the First Amendment and free speech for U.S. citizens, but we're exporting the First Amendment to people from all over the world who just do not have, the great blessing and gift that we have here, which is the First Amendment. Okay, so that's the UK, and that was a few months ago. And Germany is still, sending us letters, and I think there's like a 30,000 euro fine or something. I basically can't go to Germany anymore because the German government wanted us to comply with their censorship protocols, where we censor certain content for German users or something like this. And I said, I'm not doing that, right? And so, I have this 30,000 euro fine on my head. And if I go to Germany, they'd probably arrest me because I refuse to do it. And so, we regularly get these requests. And so Elon is full of it. For him to say that this is just par for the course, this is what all internet companies do, and we're just going to be transparent unlike everybody else. Well, that's false, because we're not doing that, and we are also, and have been, being transparent about it. And he also replied to Matthew here, who originally broke the story, and he was pretty mad about this. Elon's making a lot of unforced errors lately, hiring a female CEO that happens to be a chair on the World Economic Forum. So he says here, did your brain fall out of your head? The choice is clear. Twitter, have Twitter throttled, I guess, throughout the entire country of Turkey, or limit access to some tweets. So he's saying we can either censor content on behalf of this foreign government, or we can just not have anybody access it in this foreign nation state. And of course, that's not entirely true as well. Of course, the government could try to block Twitter, but most internet savvy people from around the world know what a VPN is, know how to access websites that their government is blocking. And so this is really such a very poor cop-out. And secondly, let the Turkish government do that, right? Let them do it. Let them ban Twitter in the entire country, which would be massive free publicity for Elon. It would show that he's standing up for free speech like he said he was going to do. But instead, he chose to censor content on behalf of a foreign government. Okay, and so now this sets, as others are noting, this sets a precedent. This sets a standard. Now, what's stopping any other foreign government, or even our own government, from, coming to Elon and saying, well, you censored stuff on, behalf of the Turkish government, so you better censor stuff on our behalf too. And so he's opened up a can of worms here, and he's shown really that he has no spine when it comes to, defending free speech. Now, again, if Elon, it sounds like, and what we're seeing based on his actions, right? We're seeing his words, we're seeing things come out of his mouth for the past year where he says that he supports free speech and he bought Twitter to defend free speech. And the actions are just not lining up with the words, okay? So if you're not going to build a free speech platform, that's fine. If you want to build this, cringe, centrist platform where you aggravate everybody on the left and you aggravate everybody on the right and you somehow get the people that are in the middle, which is not that many people because we no longer live in a neutral world. You cannot live. We just don't live in a neutral world. It's good versus evil. Okay, you're either on the side of good or you're on the side of evil. You're on the side of the baby killers and the people that are grooming the children and trafficking the children and sexually mutilating the children, or you're on the side of good. There's no middle ground there. There's no room for centrism in the world that we're living in right now. And so this strategy is not a free speech strategy. If that's what he wants it to be, fine. But then stop claiming that you support free speech when you're bending the knee to foreign governments and censoring stuff at their behest. And, you're hiring World Economic Forum CEOs who worked for woke NBC, and there's all these clips of her making all these woke statements about, diversity and inclusion and all the usual, nonsense that they spew with their religious ideology. And so, again, just stop claiming that you're a free speech platform. Okay. This is really aggravating to me as someone who actually does run a free speech platform and as someone who has paid the price for that dearly. Has Twitter been banned from anything for their alleged free speech policies? I don't think so. They're still on the app stores. They still have access to payment processors. They still have access to banks. Cry me a river. Gab has lost all of that stuff, and we were able to rebuild from the ground up in spite of losing all of that stuff because of our stance on free speech. Okay, so you want to call yourself a free speech platform, then you're going to have to pay that. You're going to have to be willing to pay the price in order to be that. Gab shows you what that price is. That price is you're not going to be on the app stores. You're not going to have access to banks, payment processors, hosting providers, a long list of 25 plus things that we've been banned from, but we've been able to rebuild and come back stronger than ever before. It's actually made us the most resilient platform on the internet because we went through that stuff, survived, rebuilt, and now we own and control sort of all of that infrastructure. And we don't need permission from Apple or Google as to what content we're going to allow on our website. We don't need permission, from the mainstream media. We don't need permission from the ADL. We don't need permission from, the WEF. Okay, so don't call yourself a free speech platform, Elon, unless you're willing to pay the price. It's just that simple. Again, you want to build this centrist platform where, again, magically you just make everybody on the left and everybody on the right distrust you and not like you. And you're going to get the sort of people in the center, who are these people? Who are these people in the center? They're fence sitters. Well, here's the thing. In this world that we're living in, the fence is owned by Satan. So if you're sitting on the fence, you're sitting on the side of evil. Okay. That's just, there's no middle ground here. Okay. You're either on the side of righteousness or you're on the side of evil. It's just that simple. And so you have to pick a side, and sitting in the middle is just not going to cut it. And so, this is eroding the trust. The goodwill that he has built up on the right has just been utterly demolished in the past 48 hours. It's remarkable. The unforced errors, once again, from our competition is just, God is so miraculous. The work that he does, we don't even have to do anything. All I have to do is just keep doing what we're doing, keep defending free speech, keep building. And it's like Gab is inevitable, right? I don't even have to, run ads. I don't have to do anything. I just wait for, these idiots in Silicon Valley, these elite technocrats, to make unforced errors, and then Gab grows. And Gab is getting thousands of new users off of this, WEF new CEO. Tons of people signing up over the past 48 hours or so. And now we learn that Elon is, censoring at the behest of the Turkish government. And so, the whole thing is just a big ruse, a big distraction. And hopefully people are waking up to it. And I think they will. So that's my take on this. I just wanted to let you guys know that, what he's saying here is it's just not true. It is not par for the course. Gab turns down requests from foreign governments to censor content on our platform all the time. This sort of happens on a week-to-week basis. Just the other day, the Russian government reached out, Germany reaches out, the UK, we've had Brazil, many others. I mean, this is something that we deal with all the time, and our answer is always the same. Now, of course, if someone is breaking the law, right, if someone is, threatening imminent threats or breaking the law or doing something illegal, then of course, we're going to take action on that just as we would with any of our other users in the U.S. or wherever, right? It's not an anarchist playground. We do have rules, and the rules are U.S. law and the First Amendment, and so we're also exporting that to our German users and to our users in the U.K. and all around the world, and so this lie that you have to sort of do the bidding of foreign governments as a U.S. corporation and as a U.S. citizen is just not true. Get on Gab.com, folks. Have a good day. Jesus Christ is King.